raise your hands if you're dealing with difficult people in your life right now? Okay. Now, those of you who did not raise your hands, you are those difficult people. That would be it. Guys are looking at each other, I can tell. Now, some of the most difficult people we deal with on a regular basis, the most difficult, are know-it-all experts. How many of you are dealing with a know-it-all expert in your life right now? And how many of you actually married one? God bless you, that'll happen. And I learned a very valuable lesson, and that is, if you criticize others' ideas, they'll almost never use yours, no matter how good they are. And I was the boss. 27 years old and the boss. Oh, yeah. Young boss. Got any young bosses out here? Oh, yeah. I'm young and I'm the boss. And you are not the boss. Yes. Yep, and I got to work, and all of my employees were older than I was. Oh, yeah, young boss. And I got to work that first day, and I met my people. I called them my people. I said, people, I will lead you to the promised land of success. All your hopes and dreams and ideas, forget about all that. We're going to do things a special way. And that way is called my way. And if it's not my way, it's the... Was I effective? No. Now, I saw a memo between two employees that referred to me as punk boy manager. So it's kind of hard to wield authority in that situation, but I learned another very valuable lesson. And that is, if you make people feel important, you and what you have to offer will be important to them. Because in reality, people don't choose what's best. They choose what they're the most comfortable with, whether it's the best or not. What I want you to do right now, I want you to pick a partner next to you. And if you don't have a partner, that means that you're alone. Nothing I can do about that. Make a friend, I don't know. I want you to look deeply and passionately into your partner's eyes. And there's no touching, there's no touching. No touch, over there, no touching. And as you're looking deeply into their eyes, ask yourself this question. Do you see anything weird in there? Yes. Yes! It's called judgment. You know, I was driving through Texas, and I was trying to get back to Houston. I was lost, very, very lost. And I pulled in this gas station, and sitting at this gas station is this crusty old man, judgment. And this guy is so old, he looks like he's not going to live through the conversation. This is a very, very old guy. He's got fishing hooks in his hat, and he's got that look on his face, that faraway look, you know. So I get the impression I'm not going to get very good directions from this guy, judgment. So I said, excuse me, sir, I'm trying to get back to Houston. Can you help me? He goes, what road you come in on, boy? I said, there's one road and you're on it, this road, the road that we're both on. So this guy's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, judgment. So there I'm face to face, and what am I going to do? I've got to build a relationship. I've got to build a rapport. I've got to create some unity right there. And so I said, okay, let's see, I'm kind of hungry. Okay, sir, I'm looking for food, but I don't like fast food. He goes, there's McDonald's in town that ain't that fast. Okay, country funny man, look, buddy, I, meaning me and not you, when I think they're not smart, I go to hand signals. I, meaning me and not you, need directions back to Houston, international symbol for Houston. You've been there. Can you help me get back to Houston? He goes, son, pay attention to me when I'm talking to you. I said, okay. He goes, what you want to do is go down the road a piece. I said, a piece of what? What does that mean, a piece? He goes, you know, son, some miles. I said, 1 mile, 1,000,000 miles? Work with me, gas station man, would you please? He said, listen. I said, okay. He goes, what you want to do is go down the road a piece. There's going to be like a highway, and then there's going to be a hump on that highway. Get up on top of that hump. When you're on top of that hump, look out your window. You'll see like a small dirt road and a pond and a trailer park. Don't go in there. Stay on that main road. And what you want to do is take a left where the old Mitchell place used to be. Okay, gas station funny man, let's go over this one more time. You're telling me to take a left at a landmark that I've never heard of that no longer exists. And then I got to tell you, I snapped. It happens to us when we're trying to build relationships, we snap. I snap. You've snapped. I think you've snapped recently. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But I lost it. I just lost it. And I used the D word. I said, sir, are you just dumb? He said, you know something, son, I ain't the smartest man around these parts, but then again, boy, I ain't lost neither. So, who had the communication problem? Who had the communication problem? I did. Big lesson in life. Everybody knows something you don't. And that moment you think you know it all, that moment you think you know everything, you need no input from anybody else, and that moment wisdom leaves you. Most information on trust is very simple. It says it takes time to build trust. It takes time to build trust. We looked at research starting back from about 1916, a lot of stuff done pre-World War II and post-World War II, a lot of stuff done in the 70s, and we looked at all the data, looked at it to see if there's something different that we could see. What we saw was something called the truth about trust, and I will not pull any punches here today. So what's the truth about trust? The truth is you've got people who've known you for 5 years and still don't trust you, and some have known you for 5 minutes and they do. Why would that be? Because trust is built on the foundation of two things, compassion and competence. Compassion and competence. Do they believe that you care about them and their future and their people? And do they think that you can do your job however they believe that's defined? If they believe those two things, they'll trust you pretty quickly up front. It's why some people are so effective at walking in and making things happen and others struggle. Okay, great. But how do you prove to people that you really do care and that you're really competent? We looked at the research again, and the research came back interviewing people about how they feel that way, and it came back, well, I felt listened to. I felt heard. It was collaborative. I could see, my input and their solution. What happens when you're talking to somebody? Oh, no, come in. I've got an open door policy. No, I want to hear you. Please come in. They start talking about what? All their wants and needs and problems and... Please tell me more. It's hard. But the other issue is about voice tone. Sometimes it's the tone of our voice that gets us in trouble. My dad is 75 years old, and everybody hangs up on my dad when they call. Bring, bring, hello. Honey, they hung up. My dad's a walking, breathing, telemarketing, disrupting machine. They never call back. Never. So it's an issue, right? And what happens, we see sometimes we have a different tone of voice for different people. So we have Dr. Simmons here, who is my colleague. And you, sir, are my subordinate. And you give me your first name again? I'm supposed to know that. Andy Birdfeld. Andy. Russ, right? Russ, Andy. Russ, listen, let's talk, Russ. Absolutely. We had a good time last week. Got some problems going on. We can talk about that stuff. Good to see you. Right? Andy. Andy, my friend. Andy, how are you, Andy? Working hard, are we, Andy? It's a real thing. And what happens is that people read into that, and that impacts how they feel. There are some people who are not effective leaders just because of the tone of their voice.